We'll go ahead and get started in just a moment. Hello, everyone. So tonight we're going to be talking about the sun entering into the sign of Libra. That is the only thing that is moving this week. This is going to be actually a fairly good week for most of us, and I really like this Libra energy. So we'll get started in just a second. Hello. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to say the announcements first. So please like and follow Those Just See Flint on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And check out our YouTube page. Hi Alexa. I hope everything is well. So we are posting videos up onto YouTube. So, you know, Devana has the spilling the tea every Saturday night, and it gets put on Facebook, Spreaker, on YouTube. You can find it anywhere, and they are amazing. So I highly recommend them. And you know, there's just so much information, and I've been learning so much about tea and different blends and just like things that I didn't know, and it's very informative. So I highly recommend it, and you should too. You should check it out, and it's just something fun. The last few videos were really short. They're about 15-ish minutes long, so it's really a lot of information you're getting within 15 minutes. And you can find it, you know, on our page or Spreaker or on YouTube. And then I want to thank anyone who came out today to the walk in the park. I hope that you had a great time, okay? So we'll go ahead and get started. For this week, we are starting the week off with a Scorpio moon. We had a Scorpio moon today, but we're also going to have Scorpio moon tomorrow. So with the Scorpio moon tomorrow, it's a time where things are like going to get serious. It is a time where you can create a lot of changes, or a lot of change is being made for you. So if you are going to work, like at work, or have a career right now, we start the work week off on Monday, and you know, it's weird because Monday is Moon Day, and Moon is like being at home and being nurtured, so it's kind of like weird that we start on Mondays, and Sunday is, you know, by the sun, and it's like kind of like technically the beginning of the week. I know different countries start the week off on Sunday, which makes a lot more sense than Monday, because Monday is like a time to rest and be at home, and the Sunday energy is like kind of like, let's go out and do things, and we kind of have it a little bit different here. But with the moon being in Scorpio tomorrow and going to work, you can expect there to be changes, and it might feel very unknown, and you might not be able to adapt to it really quickly. So knowing that there can be changes, and this like sets off the energy for the week, because the moon, this is the sign for the moon for the week. So whatever this energy is, it sets like the tone for the week. Hold on. So I have my dog with me tonight for the stream, and he just found his favorite squeaky toy, so you might hear some squeaking. Something I can do about that. Okay, anyways, it's either him or the cat, so hopefully sometime soon I have my own space, but you might hear squeaking, so if you hear it, please ignore it. Anyways, back on to the moon. So the moon sets the tone for the whole week. I know there's like a lot of importance on it, but it's because we're starting the week off on this energy, and it just like is what we build up to. So it just like sets the tone. So there's just going to be a lot of changes happening this week. And oh, you love my animals coming? Yes, you know, I like their different energies that they bring. You know, like my dog brings more of like a relaxed, playful feeling. You know, actually I have a candle burning right now. It's a yellow candle and it's lemon. So it's very like happy and really like kind of embodies like that. Oh, there goes the squeaky. So it really embodies like the positive and the, you know, the good vibes rolling. And then with the cat energy, you know, the cat is more of a protective energy. I don't know if he's going to be squeaking this whole time, but if it gets a little bit obnoxious here in a minute, I might have to stop for just a second. But with the cat energy, it's more protective. It is more disruptive, and I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like a completely different tone, and I'm always around the dog, and the cat only visits me during live stream. So it's very interesting. So this week we have the sun entering into the sign of Libra, and it will be going into Libra on Wednesday. And this is actually a very good time. I love the sun in Libra personally, because it's like a time where we can come back center and get balanced and get everything kind of like in place. So, you know, the opposite sign of Libra is Aries, and Aries is like a beginning. And so when we look at Libra, the other half, it is like the feminine beginning. So like, even though it's the beginning of the autumnal equinox, it is, sorry, we hear the dog. Don't, okay. Animals, I swear. The cat was trying to get into the stream and the dog wasn't having it. Okay. Hold on. Evan, are you getting him?
If I can come out there.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
Evan's gonna come grab him real quick.
Let's go.
Oh, I guess he's okay. Okay. He really wants to be by me tonight. Sorry for that. I don't think the cat will be coming back for a while. He normally like hides. Sorry about the loudness. Tends to happen around here. But okay. So with the sun being in Libra, there's like this beautiful balance. You know, this like the time that is pointing to our harvest, and we're like collecting our harvests, and we're like kind of seeing the roots of like our labor and preparing ourselves for winter. It is a time where we can like come back into balance, because like in Aries we are setting the intentions, and then in Libra we are seeing the opposite. We're seeing what we put forward, and it's kind of like balance it out. So like imagine if you planted a bunch of crops and you're kind of like looking at the crops, analyzing them, and seeing which ones are good or which ones are going to be better to save for later on versus the ones to eat now. So just like that kind of energy. It's just like this little bit of a background. So hold on. think I'm gonna have to take that away from him. Excuse me, just one moment. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to take and put the dog in the other room. I thought he was going to behave. He's been behaving, so I thought he wasn't going to be as loud as possible, but he was as loud as possible. So I'm sorry about that. And I'm going to break down all 12 signs for the sun entering into Libra, okay? Started. Okay. Let me back up here. So Aries, we're going to have the sun enter Libra in your 7th house. So when the sun is highlighting here, it's just like, think of like a big massive beam of light just like shining on this area. And this is like a time where it's like where you need to like focus on balancing between yourself and another person or other people or people you do business with. So it's like just balancing out this energy, trying to work with the flow and seeing where things are going and kind of like gauging on what you need to do and like how you can bring back some more romance into your relationships, or even like if it's like with a business partner. I know you don't want to be romantic with your business partner. I mean, I guess there's a whole bunch of movies on that, but it is like bringing back like the emotion. So like if you have a business partner and you are trying to like do different deals, it's like a time where you can be a little bit more connected and more emotionally aligned. So not necessarily like be with your boss energy, but it's like, hi Emma, it is a time where you can just like feel more at home and you could feel like a little bit more balanced. Another thing is that if you are working on developing a business right now, it is a time where you can weigh out a lot of pros and cons and also see where you want to head. But the thing is, you want to make sure that you're not getting too caught up and between the scales, because there's this energy where you could get stuck between the scales and weighing out the pros and cons too much that you don't actually move forward and get things done. And we want to get things done. So with the sun here, it's just going to help guide us and help show us how we can go about these energies together. So next is Taurus. So Taurus, we're going to have the sun enter into your 6th house. So with the sun in your 6th house, Taurus, this is a time where your day-to-day routines are really being highlighted, and it's time for you to get back to it, because there's like this energy that you were diligent and proactive at doing something daily, but that kind of has been put to the wayside these last few months with a lot of crazy stuff going on. But now is a great time that we can really reconnect with this energy and get back onto task and out on like a schedule. I know Taurus, I'm a Taurus, and schedules are not very fun. I was just thinking earlier today about how much I do not like being on a schedule. So anyways, this is like getting kind of back into a routine or a schedule. It doesn't have to be like a harsh, like at 5 p.m. I am doing this, at 6 p.m. I'm doing that. It's just like something that flows a little bit more. and that isn't so rigid, okay? I know how you're feeling, because I am totally feeling the same energy. And it's really a good time because, with Mars and Aries opposing the sun, it is a time where we can really just redirect that Mars energy using the sun, and we can bring our balance back. And this would be a very good time to bring in a physical activity into your day-to-day routines, before starting any sort of exercise or anything like that. Always talk to a doctor first, but this is a great time for you to redirect that Mars energy using the sun and just going ahead and just doing it again, okay? So next is Gemini. So Gemini, we're going to have the sun enter into our 5th house. So with the sun in our 5th house, Gemini, this is a time where we can get back into like a hobby, but something that is for you is more aesthetically pleasing. So like something that is very eye-catching, like painting, or even like doing some modeling clay, or something that's very beautiful in your eyes. This is a time where you can do an activity like this, and it is a time where you can start to reconnect with a hobby or a craft or something that you really find enjoyable. This is also a good time if you are really into fashion, like switching up your wardrobe, like making a little bit of a change, or like doing something different with your hair. But the thing is, Libra, we don't want to be caught between the scales, is how I like to phrase it, because you could be weighing out the pros and cons. Like if you have blonde hair, for example, or no, I'm going to use brown hair. So like you have brown hair, for example, you might be debating if you want to dye it blonde right now or dye it black. You know what I mean? I know that's a very extreme example, but you might be very confused on how to move forward. But you should do what makes you feel best during this time and do something fun, okay? So like the sun is very active. I know like we really necessarily can't go to museums and stuff right now, but there are a whole bunch of virtual museums online, and that would be a lot of fun to check out for you. So next is Cancer. So Cancer, we're going to have the sun in your 4th house of home. So with the sun in your 4th house, this is a really good time to shine at home. You might be having more people over or spending more time with family. And like the thing is, it might make you nervous because of everything that is going on. So you're weighing your pros and cons. But for you, the scale is very tipping towards the pro side, because you really want to be surrounded by your loved ones and your family. And you are going to do something like that. Like you might have like the thoughts, everyone has like the thoughts, especially in the kind of world we're living in right now. This would be totally different if we were talking about like last year and like the sun in Libra. But with the sun in Libra for you this year, it's just like kind of like a heavy subject, and you're not sure like what you want to do, but you know that you want to spend time with your family and your loved ones and spend time at home. You feel like that, Alexa? I am so sorry. I know my aunt, she's a Cancer, and I actually saw her today, and I haven't seen her since Christmas, and she had brought up these same conversations and about how, how everything's going on but she feels like stuck and she's like trying to weigh things out. So I definitely think it's like a struggle, especially because you know that, you know, it's getting closer to flu season. We have things going on. There's like this worry. So this Libra energy, like I always like it as in like this fun, playful energy, but sometimes this other side of Libra is like super serious and needs to be down to business. So you're caught between the two, and sometimes we do need to let go a little bit. Hi, TT. But yes, being with family and at home or outside at home, you know, practicing everything safe is a good feeling. And that will really make you feel very good at this time. And also another thing with the sun here, it's a time where you could add in things to your home like comfy pillows or blankets, like super soft things that make you like feel good and make you like really enjoy your space, even if it's just like, I know it might sound weird, but even if it's just like vacuuming. I know, vacuuming, right? But it really like spruces up the space and makes you feel more at home. Okay, so next is Leo. So Leo, we're going to have the sun in your third house of communication. So with the sun in your third house of communication, Leo, this is a time where you have to be very careful with conversations that you're having. This is only because we have Mars and Aries opposing this energy. So the thing with communication is that communication can really get heated up because this is an opposing energy for the sun here. So with this opposition, conversations really could get heated, and we have to be like careful because a lot of times we might feel like our way is the right way, but we really need to make sure that we're listening to each other. And even if you feel very strongly or right about something, maybe like step back and kind of like listen to the other side. Maybe they have like some valid points that you did not think about before. Like for example, I'm going to use jelly. So maybe you just love strawberry jelly and cannot see why others like grape jelly. You're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that they make grape jelly. I only see the reason why for strawberry jelly. Maybe like listening to what other people like about the grape jelly or like the flavor of it, and maybe even like giving it a try, like trying out like this other flavor and seeing that the reason, like their side of the story. I hope that analogy like makes sense. I know I'm comparing it to food. I'm a Taurus. I cannot help comparing things to food, but I hope that makes sense to you because you don't want to get in a heated discussion about which jelly is better. You know what I mean? So this is just a time where you really want to make sure that you're kind of like being more of a wallflower and listening rather than being more outspoken and hearing. You want to hear what each side has to say, even if you are more on the one side than the other. Like just listen and hear them out, okay? Because you might be missing a part. Like back to the grape jelly situation, like maybe it's more cost effective to make jelly out of grapes and easier, so that's why they make more grape jelly, or why strawberry jelly sometimes has seeds in it but grape jelly doesn't. You know what I mean? So just like listening to like the different sides of the story, okay? So next is Virgo. Sorry, my camera is really dark. It's not dark in my house, but for some reason, whenever I stream, my camera thinks it's dark, but it's definitely not dark in my house at all. I have all the lights on. I'm definitely a person who does not enjoy it being very dark, so I like lots of lights on. That's all I have to say. But anyways, Virgo, we're going to have the sun in your second house of money and finances. So Virgo, we just got out of your season, so you are probably collecting like the money that you got like from your birthday or gifts that people have given to you, because the second house is where people like give you things, and it can be like birthday presents, it could be momentums, it could be anything. And right now it's like kind of weighing on you because you may have a big purchase on your mind, but you do not know how to go about it. So the best thing that we can do during Libra season, Virgo, is trying not to get too caught up in knowing what you, oh, sorry, I'm trying to word it right. It's not to worry about where your money is going. Like, yes, a lot of times I talk heavily about worrying about where your money is going, but right now, this is a time where you can spend the money how you want to, and you might try to justify it, but you know, sometimes we have to give a little to get what we want. And I feel like a lot of times, Virgo, you don't necessarily do that. You give so much and don't get a lot in return. So it's okay to splurge a little bit more during this Libra season. Okay, so next is Libra. So Libra, we're going to have the sun in your first house. So happy birthday to all the Libras out there on Wednesday. So technically you can have your birthday the day before, or yeah, like the day before. It just like depends on the year, because even though we have like a calendar set for when the sun's in Libra and stuff like that, and for all the signs, your birthday technically can fall. This is just birthday astrology. So birthday astrology, with the day that you're born, at the moment the sun is at that degrees again, so that's called your solar return. It can happen the day before your birthday, on your birthday, or the day after. So that is why sometimes we feel like our birthday is not our birthday, and like the day before was our birthday. And if you can go back and look, there's a great chance that maybe that day was your real birthday based on your solar return. So what I was also saying is that sometimes the sun enters into Libra before like the cutoff date, so it just like depends. So people who are born like on the cusp of a sign, like even if you just like look at one of those charts about, oh, like this day is Libra, I must be a Libra, it's always good to pull a chart, because you could be a Virgo. You never know. Just a little side tip tangent. But with the sun being here, Libra, happy birthday. And we really need to do something that is like taking care of ourselves, because we need to do something for ourselves. I know that might sound a little bit weird, but if you're very unhappy, this is a time where you can act upon it and manifest something that is a lot better for you. So like for example, if you're not very happy at work, you can help find yourself like a new situation or a new opportunity. It is also a time where we can make changes to our appearance because the first house is the house of self and how the world sees us. So we can change our hair or change our outfits or just like do something a little extra special, like get massages or go to the spa. Just do something really nice for yourself. And even if you can't like go somewhere, like there's nothing wrong with, painting your nails at home or cutting your hair. I know I'm really bad because I call it Leanne's hair salon, but cutting your own hair if you feel like it, okay? That's all I have to say about that. My sister, she is a Libra, and I definitely know that she does those things. Like, this is like going to be her season, and she, is into like getting her nails done. She just got her nails done, and they're super cute, but like doing something like that for yourself, like doing something a little extra special that makes you feel good. It makes you feel like it's kind of balancing out any of the negative things that you might be experiencing at this time. Okay, so next is Scorpio. So Scorpio, we're going to have the sun enter our 12th house. So with the sun in our 12th house, Scorpio, this is a time where we just really need to just kind of like get grounded. I know that might sound weird because this is a air sign, and with air signs, this is like a time for us to get grounded in a way of our thoughts. Like we might be having a lot of flashbacks or things coming back to us at this time. I feel like this is a very retrospective placement and that we're really thinking about the past, and we are just constantly being reminded of it. And this is like a time where our thoughts might be very heavy and we just don't know what we want to do or how to move forward. And these are like conversations that you're having with yourself and no one else, because the 12th house is a very private house. It's a house that we don't tell anyone about. So these are just like thoughts that you might be having and no one else knows about them, but you are going through this inner battle and inner struggle. So the best thing that we can do is like get grounded. It's a time where like meditation will be very important to you. So you could calm those thoughts. Like even just like taking 5 minutes and just like laying down on the ground, or even like in your bed. Just like somewhere that where you can just take a couple minutes to yourself and just relax would be very beneficial to you this month, okay? So next is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, we're going to have the sun in your 11th house. So with the sun in your 11th house, Sagittarius, this is a time where you also have been debating a lot about your friends, organizations, and other people, because the 11th house is our friends and organizations we belong to or want to be a part of. This is a time where we might be really debating and judging on what we want to do. So it could be a time where if we want to let go of a friend, it is a time we can, or a time we want to dive deeper and have deeper connections with them, we can do that too. this is a time where it is okay to be judgmental and, make those cuts or make those ties that you want to, because we're going to be able to balance out what we want to do. And another thing we can do here is we can get really creative too. I see this as a very creative placement, especially if you're involved with an organization or online. This is a placement where you can get really connected with other people. The 11th house rules over the internet. It rules over just being online. So if you are someone who is online a lot, this is a time where you can start to develop it more and develop what you want to create. And if you're wanting to create an organization, this is a time where you can do so. So next is Capricorn. So Capricorn, we're going to have the sun in our 10th house. So with the sun in our 10th house, Capricorn, this is actually Capricorn's house. So with the sun here, this is time where we can really see what is going on in our careers at work and what we're doing. Even if you don't have a job, you can start to think about your future and what you want to do and start to make the pros and cons list and be a little bit more judgmental and standing up. Hi, Scott. And standing up for what is right, because you might not feel like something at work is right, and Libra energy likes to stand up for when things are not right. And especially with this Mars and Aries energy, if you feel like something is not fair or someone's not being treated very fairly, especially if you're seeing this happen in a workplace or at a career, your job, then speak up, because it is always wrong when you see unfair treatment. I know there's a lot of times we can't do anything about it, but even bringing the awareness to someone, you can help the person who is suffering not suffer anymore. And I think that is very beautiful. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of beauty. So helping someone, it's a different kind of beauty. It is an emotional beauty. You know what I mean? Oh, that was the feeling, oh, that was so nice of you. We don't have enough words to describe how we are feeling. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like there's not enough words or descriptions to express those things, because those acts of kindness can be seen as very beautiful. And I know that sounds a little bit out there, but I know that I am a Capricorn rising and a Capricorn moon, so I definitely feel this way. When I see someone who's not being treated very fairly, I definitely talk about it and get it known and see how I can go above and beyond to help someone. Or when I see good things happening, I like to reward it. And I feel like that's an act of, besides kindness, a good thing. It's helping the little man. It is helping try to promote a beautiful workspace in a sense. I hope that makes sense to you. It makes sense to me. Also, if you are in an advertising industry or marketing, this could be a very good time for you, Capricorn, because the sun in Libra here it's a great time to make sales and like beautiful like art or products. Okay? So next is Aquarius. So Aquarius, we're going to have the sun in your ninth house. So with the sun in your ninth house, Aquarius, is a time where you can learn something new. It's something that can be a little bit more tough. So with the ninth house, it's a higher learning house. So have you ever thought about learning about law? Because one thing that Libra rules over is like laws. You know, it's like the scales, and there's a reason why, like, the law field, I can't even think of what it's called right now, but they have like the scales. You know, it's like the scales of justice. So just like learning about these different laws or learning something that is very intense during this time would be very beneficial to you. I know that sounds kind of a little bit boring, but I don't mean it to be. Some people are very interested in learning about law and in learning about order. But another thing is that you can do during this time is be very creative. The ninth house is also a publishing house. So if you have ever thought about writing a book, this is a great time to start doing that, because with the sun here, we have like the spark of energy of writing, especially since we have Mars retrograde opposing this energy. We might have a lot of ideas in our head, like on different books. And Aquarius, you are one of the most thoughtful signs, like not like giving gifts thoughtful. I mean, like, you think a lot and you have a lot of different ideas that come to you, and they might sound very abstract. That is why writing would be a very good placement for you during this time, because you might have these ideas that seem very far-fetched to a lot of people, but it's just because it seems it's above this time. So, for example, if you were to write a book on cell phones, like back in like the 1900s, like 1920, people might not know what you're talking about at all, you know. They weren't invented yet. And Aquarius is like the sign of the inventor. So if you have like ideas like that, you can always write them down and create a beautiful masterpiece, because books are, that's an art form, okay? This is also a placement where you can do some painting too, okay? Next is Pisces. So Pisces, we're going to have the sun in your 8th house. So with the sun in your 8th house, this is a time where you can create a lot of changes, and you are kind of like weighing the pros and the cons on these changes, but you're not sure how to move forward. And we just don't want to be caught between the scales. I know I said that like a million times tonight, but that's like how Libra energy is, because it's not this nervy energy like Virgo. It is this energy of like Virgo kind of is just kind of scattered and has a lot of thoughts, and then Libra takes those thoughts and kind of puts them into these categories. So like making these lists and seeing like how you want to move forward. There might be something more on a deeper level that you haven't really talked to anyone about, because the 8th house is a very hidden house too. Not as hidden as the 12th house, but there's like some ideas that you might be having, You're trying to weigh out the pros and the cons on it. And whatever it is will help you create a lot of positive changes and help you move forward. And also, if you've been struggling with anything, this light in the 8th house is going to help guide you. I know it's kind of going to feel like you come to a fork in the road, but let your guides and the light show you. Oh, sorry, I just looked down and my camera was going crazy. I didn't mean it to be. So with the, like, you come to a fork in the road. So let your guides help guide you on what path you should take, okay? And there might be more than one road, and there might be more than one way to get to that destination. And don't be afraid to take the destination or the pathway that is unconventional, okay? Okay, I am back. Okay, so real quick announcements. Please like and follow Wishes T Flint on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Etsy. Please check out the Etsy page. There's some great deals. And also, if you purchase some of the teas, they go to local charities, like the donations. So please check it out if you're interested. And we also had another Spilling the Tea talk yesterday. It is posted on our page. It's on Spreaker and on YouTube. So please check that out if you're interested. The tea talks have been amazing, and it's been very fun learning about the different uses and stuff for the tea, like learning about, like, you know, like last week learning about teaspoons and why they're called teaspoons, and just like little things. I've been learning so much, and I hope that you guys have been too if you've been watching. But there's plenty more to come, and please check it out. So this week, we're going to start off the week off with a Scorpio moon, and then we're going to have the sun entering into Libra on Wednesday. And also, if you're going to watch this video back again, I'm sorry. I thought my dog was going to behave during the video, and I'm sorry I had to move him to the other room for being really loud and squeaking his toy. So I hope that you all have a good night, and sorry for the distractions, and I hope you have a good week, and I look forward to talking to you all next week, okay? Have a good night.